Hey, everybody, welcome to Murphy's Law. I am so excited to be with you again today. Uh, Fun topic today. I've been having a lot of conversations lately about kind of the state of the world and what's really been happening with law enforcement in America today. It's been challenging. It's been a really challenging thing for not only Americans to live through, but also our immigrant population and specifically our law enforcement officers and community. And why it's been challenging for them is because, one incident that happens can affect so many different ways of doing business when it comes to law enforcement. And that's what we're seeing today. I've been asked by a lot of people who are not law enforcement what my thoughts are and really asking, is this normal? The first thing I want to address when I get those questions is to always say the very fact that we're talking about it means it's not normal. It's not normal for people to be shot. It's not normal to have people assaulted, no matter if that's a law enforcement officer doing it or if it's a citizen and or another person cultivating that response. It's not normal, and we should never get used to it. But I will tell you, as a former police commissioner, as a former deputy mayor and public safety director, there's so many angles and sides to a story that you have to review before you can really give an opinion and or a understanding of what has occurred. And for me, now I'm a citizen, and that same emotional response that everyone else has had with everything happening, with whether it's with ICE or whether it's with anything happening in the community, I have it too. And I would say probably the vast majority of law enforcement officers, the vast majority of community members, all have that same response of, oh my gosh, why is this happening? Why is this happening in America today? And, you know, I can't tell you a good reason why we continue to do the things we do that cause people to make the decisions that they're making. But what I can tell you is that uh, I still believe in democracy, and I still believe in our justice system, and that no matter whether it's a police officer or it's a citizen who does the wrong thing, I or makes the wrong decision, whoever's making that decision, I believe that our justice system still has the ability to hold that person accountable. And that's important to note because if we lose that, we've lost a lot of what our democracy and what our community and what America is all about. And I think we have bigger issues when that comes to light. A lot of people have also asked me, so what do you think about all these protesters protesting and protesting, the shootings and protesting ICE and all those things? I will say protests are a healthy uh, part of democracy. Demonstration is an important piece to what makes us unique in what we do in America. The fact that we have the right to protest and we have the right to express ourselves is so vital to how we do business in America. But what is not productive is protests that are not uh, nonviolent. What is not productive is protests that are otherwise not just expressing your beliefs. When you bring the ability to harm others or destroy property, that's when I have a problem. And that's when law enforcement has to step in. I would say the thing that's unique about what is happening with the ICE protests is that they're protesting ICE and they're protesting law enforcement officers who would otherwise not be involved in protest. ICE don't have a role when it comes to protesting. Local police departments do, state police departments do, but ICE don't really have a role there. And so when I see ICE involved in those protests, it's mainly because they're the ones being protested and that they're the ones whose lives are could be in danger. I would say that uh, all those elements that come with that type of protest make it challenging because I do believe our American citizens have a right to express themselves. I also believe that our ICE officers and our immigration officers and all those folks um, have a job to do. We must have borders. We must protect our borders, and we must make sure that people are here under the right circumstances. However, I also think that immigration is the unique, beautiful thing that makes our country great. There is the important piece of immigration to our country that built this country to what it is today. Now, while many of us were forced to come here, there's others, and I should say that's my ancestry, but there's others who have come here in a way, in a manner of which um, needs to be built for this country. And so, with that said, I think it's really important to understand where we came from and who we are. Because as Americans, all of us derive from immigrants. All of us. Whether it is, I'm first generation American, my dad is from Panama. Whether it's someone that came here to make a better life for their family, or it's someone who came here on the Mayflower that was kicked out of England. No matter what, we are all deriving from immigrants. And if we have that common thread, we have to make sure we're treating each other with humanity. Whether you're a nice officer, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a baker or a doctor or a nurse, it doesn't matter. We have a common thread in that we all came here um, to build this thing called America. Now, most of you are probably saying, well, there's also the Native Americans or the natives, the people that were here already. There was millions of people um, on this land. We must respect those folks too, and make sure that their culture and that their ability to be represented is there as well. But it is so important that we treat each other with humanity. It's also important that we understand that our government has a job to do, and that we must hold them accountable. But we must not get in the way of making sure that our law enforcement officers are safe and are protected. We can't be we can't be assaulting law enforcement. At the same vein, our law enforcement cannot be killing and assaulting us as citizens. It's a dynamic that's really important. And yes, people may say, "Oh, you're on one side or the other." In my view, there are no sides. There's only one side, and that's the right side. And that's everybody must be treated with humanity, or if we've lost the game. And so I encourage us to really look at ourselves and our role and what we're doing in society, and really understand that there is no secret sauce. There's no easy way to deal with this. But what I will say is if we take control of our own behaviors, we will be able to come out ahead, and we will be able to see our community members and our neighbors and all of the people that make this country great for who they are. It's the cultures, it's the food, it's the amazing thing of us all being unique people and all coming from different points of view that make this country what it is and make this country great. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's not make immigrants the enemy. Immigrants are not the enemy. Neither are law enforcement officers. And so we have to understand how to come together, or else we will lose our democracy. With that said, I am encouraging everyone to kind of do some inner reflection and see what role can we play to make our community a better community. Thank you so much for joining me today. That's Murphy's Law.